Let's turn to business news now. Jonathan Mitchell this week joining us from Wellington. Jonathan, hello. The Stock Exchange has a new head. And who is it? And what are some of his early challenges?
It's Mark Peterson. Good evening, John. Yes, he's been acting in that role since the start of the year when he replaced Tim Bennett. One of the early mandates that Mr Peterson might want to tackle and face is the actual ability to attract companies to list here and stay here in New Zealand. Last year there were just 3 new listings, and the small incubator, that's the next market, is still pretty much that small fry. Some of the main reasons companies are looking away from New Zealand, they're choosing to sell privately, they're looking to raise money by crowdfunding, or they're actually looking entirely overseas in markets like the ASX 200. And there's been several examples recently, and one of the key ones was the Christchurch-based technology investor Powerhouse. Their main reason for listing on the ASX was that they thought there was more enthusiasm about the company over in Australia and their ability to get more money. We've then had Michael Hill Jeweller, a long-standing New Zealand company. Their primary listing is now on the ASX. And then down south there's the agriculture firm CropLogic. They're looking at getting on the ASX by the end of the year. So it appears scale and money are the draw cards for Australia. Then on top of that for New Zealand, they've had some companies fall off the local index. Hallaby Holdings at the start of the year, they were bought out by Australians. Then there were company failures, Pumpkin Patch, Wynyard Group on top of that. And then there was a story we did earlier in the year about some current companies listed in New Zealand actually questioning why they're still listed and whether it would be better to move away. Some of the reasons behind that were a lack of research and actual support given to small companies. Back when we did that story, there was calls to start a task force to look into this problem, but actually for Mark Peterson, the new head of the NZX, he may want to tackle this first off the bat for his new role, his permanent position as chief executive, to see and attract companies to stay here and prevent them from looking overseas.
Speaking of the NZX, what happened on the New Zealand share market today?
Fairly steady today here on the local exchange. It was down a handful of points to 7,239. The dollar is still hovering under 70 US cents, currently trading at 69.4 US cents and 92.7 Australian. John.
Thank you so much. Jonathan Mitchell joining us live from Wellington.